It only took a little under 4 hours for my like goal of 10 to be reached from my last video. So that means it's time for Batman Arkham Origins Vengeance Overhaul. I got to work on this one very soon after uploading my Arkham City video, maybe about 5 or 6 hours after uploading it. I was gonna do it the next day, but y'all hit the goal really fast, so I thought I'd get started on it sooner. Thank you guys for the support. Batman Arkham Origins Vengeance Overhaul is a mod created by GP Unity that makes the game more difficult in many different ways. Damage output from enemies is increased drastically, enemy awareness is amplified, and there are plenty of different gadget tweaks that ensure that your encounters are that much more challenging. For example, you can't use your batarangs on gargoyles. This includes remote control batarangs, making it harder to pull off certain strategies. However, the remote claw still exists, so a batarang nerf is completely justified in my opinion. Certain gadgets are also no longer spammable, most notably the glue grenade. It also no longer works on Firefly. I believe the concussion detonator is also no longer spammable, but honestly, who the hell is spamming the concussion detonator? The sonic shock ability for the sonic batarang has also been removed, but considering how buns the upgrade system is for this game, I never even bothered to get the sonic batarang. Speaking of the upgrade system, because of how it works in this game, I can't prioritize getting certain combat upgrades without buying armor first. I could use the debug mode to remove armor upgrades, but considering how fast you get shredded in this game with this mod, I feel like I needed them, so I just left them. To no fault of the mod, but just Arkham Origins in its nature, this game is a buggy mess. I love this game, but each time I play through this game, I notice more and more bugs, which cost me a few lives through this run and crashed my game a few times. But how many buns did it take for me to complete Batman Arkham Origins Vengeance Overhaul mod? Let's find out. If you want to check out GP Unity's mod for yourself, I'll put the link in the description. Quick side note. At the time of writing this video, my Arkham City video has reached 254 likes, and at the time of recording, the video is at 327 likes. That is insane. I really do appreciate the support, and thank you guys. Now let's get on to the video. Like City, there are 3 different difficulties: regular, insane, and chaos. Naturally, we'll be playing on chaos, the hardest one. We learned about a breakout at Blackgate with Black Mask being the prime suspect, so we decided to go investigate instead of delighting ourselves to Alfred's delicious dinner that he's prepared for us. We save the warden and make our way through the prison, beating up prisoners along the way. We make it to death row just in time to watch Killer Croc body slam this poor guard, and we beat up a few more prisoners. We crawl through the vents and eventually we end up in the witness chamber, feet away from Commissioner Loeb, where he meets his unfortunate demise. Batman takes his inadequacy as a superhero out on these goons and makes his way up to the helipad where we can fight Killer Croc. Croc is still a fairly easy fight, but the mod does make it a little bit more difficult by removing the slow effect after you perform a beatdown and the enemies do more damage. We still manage to take Croc down while getting word of some assassins out of him, evade the police, and head back to the Batcave to assess our threats. 8 assassins after us? Thank God we only have to fight 5 of them. Well, 4 of them now, because we just took down Croc. Alfred encourages us to stay at the Batcave, but we don't listen. Instead, we decide to start looking for the Penguin. We breeze our way through this tutorial predator section, not much else to say here, and then we make our way to intercept an arms deal at Jezebel Plaza. We beat these guys up, steal this one guy's phone, drop him on a tree, and then go disable a jammer. I remember electrocuting these guys when I played this game as a kid, so I just did that here. Yeah, these guys don't know what's coming. Just stand right there. Stay right there. Where are you running to? Now that that's over with, we can track down the Penguin. And now we make it to the final offer. I'm kind of a bitch when it comes to doing predator sections, especially when it comes to sections without very many vantage points, so I take my sweet time here. Eventually we get through it and make our way inside the boat. I don't know how I never bothered to take note of this until now, but a lot of this boat is just falling apart and on fire. Surely there's some sort of hazard, because what the fuck? We clear out more groups of enemies and come across our first roadblock of the challenge, the Electrocutioner. I took some heavy hits during this combat encounter, but we make it out alive and venture deeper into the boat. This man is living the dream. Blackout drunk on the job, unaware of everything going on, sign me the fuck up. We take out a few guys with very little issue and lock up Tracy in a cell. We clear out a few more enemies without any issue, and finally reach Penguin.
Now hold on a bloody minute.
Didn't even go straight to talking, just go straight to whooping his ass. Threw his ass straight into a mirror, no words.
Not even a word spoken about. Like, I need to know. Like, immediately was taught.
Our meeting is then very rudely interrupted by Deathstroke. Deathstroke had his slow-mo counters removed, meaning you have to be a little bit more precise when it comes to dodging his counters. I took a few hits here and there, but I still managed to complete this fight. It was a very fun fight. I never get sick of fighting Deathstroke. The increased precision required to dodge his counters was also a great touch. We're told about a murder at Lacey Towers where the victim is presumed to be Black Mask, so we make our way over to investigate. And for those of y'all wondering, yes, this is still a Buns counter video, we're just not there yet. We get to the crime scene at Lacey Towers only to find out it wasn't Black Mask who got murdered, just his girlfriend and another dude wearing a black mask. Not to be confused with the Black Mask. Does this matter? Not really. Let's move on. In order to fully understand the crime scene, we need access to the National Criminal Database, so we need to break into the GCPD in order to get ourselves access. We have now reached the first true roadblock of this challenge for me. The GCPD roof. Yeah, this encounter has a significant lack of vantage points, meaning the stars have to align just right for you to be able to finish this section without losing your life. The easiest thing for me is just to take down the sniper, naturally. Then we take this guy down all the way over here. And then we just figure it the fuck out, because I never really had a strategy for dealing with this roof in the first place. After plenty of patience, I separate enough and I can get them taken care of and make my way inside. I did die here 3 times though, so now we're finally getting into some Buns action. We sneak our way through the GCPD and reach this room where you're supposed to use the remote claw to sneak past this room full of armored cops and armed enemies. But I say fuck it and decide to fight them. Well, that didn't go well. I could have just eaten the L and moved past them, but I decided to give it one more shot, and I actually managed to complete the room. We continue to make our way through the GCPD building and end up in a Predator encounter. I died here very stupidly because I did not notice that these people saw me, and I was not letting that shit slide again, so I managed to wipe the room the next time with a little bit of patience. We find our way to the server room, but we can't get through it, so we sneak into the evidence locker and steal the disruptor and make our way back to the server room. We get what we need, and now we can leave the GCPD, but now we need to tap into some wires or something. I don't really know, to be honest, but we need to go into the sewers to reach them. After going through the sewers, we find what we need, somehow come to the conclusion that Joker will be at the bank, so let's make our way to the bank. Once we get to the bank, we ask Black Mask where the Joker is, only to discover that, well, he is the Joker. He tries to blow us up, but we survive. After coming to, we realize that the room is filled with gunmen, so now we have to take them out. Predator sections, especially in this game, have never really been my strong suit. This room, paired with the jammer and the increased awareness of the enemies, got me stuck for a little bit. I spent some time hiding up here near the entrance if I was in a pinch, but on one attempt they saw me and chucked a grenade, killing me. With enough patience, we managed to get through this section and find out that Joker is running the steel mill, so let's make our way over there. Once we get to the steel mill, I yet again am relegated to another Predator section. My best strategy for this part was just to wait for them to come to the top, isolate themselves, and then pick them out. Now that there are less people and they're more spread out, I can work my way down. I did die here 3 times though. We make our way into the steel mill and progress through until we reach this big room full of henchmen. I hope he's certified on that lift, but it doesn't really matter if he is, because these guys are ass whoopers and I died here once. Next time was pretty easy though. Oh god, there's more of them. Now we can make our way down to the drug lab into what was, for me, one of the hardest Predator sections in the base game. I swear, please let me know if I'm wrong, but in the base game I remember this room being jammed permanently because the jammer was inside the office. But there's a jammer thug here that we can take out. Again, I feel like it was jammed permanently in the base game, but let me know if I'm wrong. With enough time and plenty of inverted takedowns, we managed to complete this room and confront Black Mask. Except we get jumped and now we're about to die because of Copperhead poison. We make our way back to the warehouse where we would now have to fight Copperhead as we wait for Alfred to make and send a cure for the poison. Copperhead here does quite a bit more damage and performs her more lethal moves more frequently, leading to myself taking blow after blow. I die once, but I get into the rhythm of things and get through it. Oh, and the concussion detonator, I guess. It's one of only 2 uses for this stupid fucking gadget, and it instantly wipes a clone. Copperhead tells us where everyone is having a meeting, so now we track Electrocutioner through his gloves so we can find them. Tracking signal leads us to the Gotham Royal Hotel. I forgot that there were snipers on the map at this point, so I get marked right outside the hotel. We sneak our way through the hotel, taking our sweet time because I need to prove that I'm not terrible at this game's predator sections. It doesn't work too well, however, as I proceed to get blasted because I dropped right in front of this enemy that I just didn't know was there. But now we complete this section, bringing myself one step closer to redemption. We enter the security room to find out where everyone is and witness one of the most horrifying deaths imaginable.
I didn't think so.
Enough moping. We hit our lick and make our way further up the hotel, doing all sorts of crawling and sneaking and things of the sort. Eventually we find these huge ass bombs, try to defuse them, only for Joker to blow them up anyway as we leap out of the building towards a roof fight with an awesome camera angle. Our aura isn't enough, however, because we die during this fight. We redeem ourselves immediately after and make our way to the swimming pool predator section. Another encounter that I struggled with as a kid. My death here was caused by my dumbass forgetting about the roll mechanic and rolling straight into his gunfire and dying. The next attempt though was so much easier. Oftentimes, all of the mercenaries would just stand completely still, not budging at all, allowing me to sneak in some easy takedowns. Halfway through the encounter, they mined the gargoyles, but that really doesn't hinder us because they kept freezing again at certain points. We complete this predator section, and now we can make our way up to Bane. Bane, in my opinion, is one of the most fun bosses in the entire series. It's a test of endurance and willpower, ensuring every single one of your attacks has a purpose. Bane does so much damage here, especially if he manages to hit you into a wall. Let's not forget the infamous Bane Train, one of the hardest moves to avoid in the entire series. When there are other enemies in the fight, evading the charge is a lot easier, but accidents can still happen, causing you to take some damage. With some well-placed evades and takedowns, we managed to beat Bane. There's also the first phase, I guess, but there's not too much to show there, just some aura farming from the 2 of them. He leaves the hotel and we place a tracker on him. Here are all of my deaths to Bane. The Joker gets locked up, we're forced into an obligatory memory of our parents' death, and we get our hands on the glue grenade. We get reports that Bane died and is in the morgue, so we leave to investigate while disrespecting Alfred on our way out. Surely that won't bite us in the ass later. Once we get there, we find out that it was in fact not Bane, but just another Venom abuser who looks absolutely nothing like Bane. After that disappointment, we decide to make our way to Bane's location, using the tracker that we placed on him earlier. As we get there, we find more of his mercenaries. Any redemption I may or may not have had up until this point is instantly lost as I lose to these guys. We come back and defeat them and head deeper towards the tracker and end up in some sort of office where Bane reveals that he knows who we are. We make our way out of the hideout to get back to the Batcave to ensure Alfred's safety, but we find out Firefly is holding hostages on the bridge with bombs planted all along it, so we make our way to the bridge to take care of it. We get to the bridge and we navigate our way through to try and defuse the bombs, being stopped in the boiler room for a predator section with mine gargoyles. I died here in a very stupid way, dropping right in front of the enemy's line of sight, getting absolutely blasted. After plenty of ratting and bat clawing, I managed to complete this room, only for my computer to crash due to unrelated PC issues, so I had to redo the section again. Thankfully, I recompleted it with no issues. We disarm the bomb and make our way towards another predator section that we take care of pretty easily and defuse the bomb in here. I head towards a combat encounter, but die to the sniper outside because I suck ass at this game. We make it to the combat encounter where we get pretty far, but my computer turns off again, so we start from the beginning and manage to complete it. This is not going on the buns counter though. We defuse the bomb and make our way back through another fairly easy predator room, and now we make our way up to the bridge to fight Firefly. Firefly wasn't too bad here, even though I did die once. The best thing to do here is just throw batarangs here and there, and when he's staying still for long enough, throw a concussion detonator on him and then use your bat claw. This is the second instance where the concussion detonator isn't totally fucking useless. The glue grenade also just isn't useful here with this mod. After not very long, we complete this fight, tie up Firefly, and make our way back to the Batcave, only to find out Bane is already there by the time we make our way. We come back to the Batcave, Alfred dies, and we shock him back to life. He then convinces us to go back to Blackgate and stop the breakout, so we go just do that. We get to Blackgate and sneak our way in through some sewers and whatnot, and finally come across a Predator section. I die to some absolute bullshit here, because how in the fuck did he see me? Thankfully, the remote claw and the disruptor are broken, so we get through it pretty easily. We make our way through a few tough combat encounters, but make it out with no deaths. Not much else to say about them, other than the fact that these Venom Dugs do so much fucking damage. Like, why? They fuck me up so bad. We make it to the Panopticon, where we have to fight Bane again. The fight isn't a whole lot different from the fight at the hotel, but I still struggled quite a bit here because 90% of the time he's charging you. After 6 deaths, we complete the fight, kill him in order to please the Joker, and revive him before he hulks the fuck out and slams us through a floor. TN1 Bane is fucking nightmare fuel. If I remember correctly, it takes 3 electric takedowns to defeat him in the base game, but it takes quite a few more than that here. The jammer in this room also activates so insanely fast, you're just sitting waiting for the perfect opportunity to disrupt it. Bane also seems so much more aware because I would sneak up on him and he would immediately turn around to try and fuck me up. 12 years later and I still get terrified watching him run around the halls and jam his fist through grates to fish you out. Eventually we do enough moves to defeat Bane. On our way to fighting the Joker, we run into some thugs, but Jim Gordon is just fucking cracked and one-taps all of them. Peep this shit. Gordon tells us that Joker is in the chapel, so we head over and beat the ever-living shit out of him. And that completes Batman Arkham Origins Vengeance Overhaul mod. This mod felt a lot more fair than Arkham City's mod while still being difficult. Of course, the whole point is to be difficult, but still. Especially the Predator sections, which felt more challenging without throwing a billion armored enemies into the encounters. The enemies felt a hell of a lot more aware in this game compared to Arkham City, but I don't know how different it actually is. Bane felt so much more terrifying. It felt like I was playing for the first time again. We completed the game with 35 deaths, way less than our City playthrough. I don't have any real issues with this mod. Origins is just a buggy mess a lot of the time, but it is still a fun playthrough. The mod link will be in the description if you want to check it out for yourself. Shout out again to GP Unity for making these amazing mods. Quick side note, from my Arkham City video being uploaded, we went up 156 subscribers. And my like goal of 10 got crushed a little bit. Instead of 10, we got 407 likes. Thank y'all so much for the support. I really appreciate it. Let me know if there are any other kind of challenges or games that y'all want me to do. But yeah, that's it. Thanks for watching. Like and subscribe, and I'll see you all in the next one.